Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while.
Hey.
Hey Gabe, what are you listening to?
Did you say something?
What are you listening to?
Oh, you wouldn't know.
Oh. Hey Ellie, what game are you playing? Ellie, what game are you playing? Ellie, what game are you playing?
Dude, you just made me lose.
Oh, what game are you playing?
I don't know the name.
Oh. Hey Julia, what are you working on?
Just some stuff on Google Classroom. Nothing worth talking about anyway.
Hey, Mom. No, we're not doing anything.
I'm not doing anything. I'm leaving.
Hey, where'd Dawson go?
I didn't even see him leave.
Well, hello guys. Mr. Cruz here again. Welcome to our November Step Up Chapel. As you guys remember, last month we did our chapel on unique and how God gave us unique talents and abilities. And then our theme for the month of November is going to be unplugged. So we're going to be talking about how we spend our time and then ways that we use technology as Christians in healthy ways. So today I have some awesome sixth graders here that I'm happy to say stepped up and were willing to be in this video with me. So as you guys know, technology has changed a lot over the years and continues to change. And I was lucky enough to borrow some really old technology from Kristen Mulder, who is a staff person here. And I wanted to show you guys some old technology, and maybe you guys can guess what you think it is or maybe what it does. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So for the first piece of technology, it's a little bit heavy, but I got this thing right here. Ugh. So any idea what this thing is and what this thing does?
It looks like a copier or like a printer almost.
Yeah. Kind of looks like projector in a way.
Yeah, like
maybe.
it could reflect off of there.
Yeah, maybe like a dot cam almost.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard copier, I heard printer, I heard projector, I heard dot cam. Well, this is actually just a projector. So this is how they used to do it back in the day. I know in some of the math classes now, like Mrs. Boer has a camera above her where she does math,
Yeah.
and you can see it on the screen. This was old where you actually had to write on plastic sheets with a marker, and then it would project out
Oh.
to kind of see. So kind of old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm going to grab the next piece of equipment here. All right. We got one of these.
Maybe a typewriter.
Is there like
Yeah,
a screen
I would say
under this?
typewriter. Yeah, I would say it's like a typewriter.
Yeah, because
Typewriter.
like the roll of paper would go in there.
An electric typewriter.
Betcha. You guys are right. Good guesses. This is a typewriter. So you had to plug it in, and you put the paper in, and you'd hope you didn't mess up. 'Cause if you messed up, you had to white it out or change it. So kind of old too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little different than the computers we have now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got another thing right here. All right.
Looks like a calculator.
Yeah. Like a calculator where it looks like you could almost print receipts with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calculator, print receipts. You are right. This is a calculator too. So my grandma and grandpa used to have one of these. And they're
My
on a-
grandma and grandpa still have like a little one.
Do they
Yeah,
still
it's
have
not
it?
big, but-
Yeah. So you would just type in numbers and it would print here, and you can keep track of receipts, like you said, or a calculator. But a little bit different now. We have them on our phones or,
Yeah.
or just little calculators. But you have actually had to print one off, which is kind of cool. So you guys are good at guessing. I'm gonna grab some more stuff right here. I'm gonna grab one of these.
Does it like Can you like plug it into like an amp and change like the sound and volume and stuff? Maybe. I
That's a
don't
good
know.
guess. That's a good guess.
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea.
No idea.
No clue.
So this is a device where actually if you had headphones, you would plug your headphones into each one of these and multiple people could listen to them together.
Oh.
But
That's cool.
so nowadays it's a little different, but everybody would have their own little phone or earphone jack and you'd plug it in and then you guys could all listen to the same thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, yeah, a little bit older. All right. This is kind of a fun one. You guys might know what this is, but
Oh, is it a like a radio sort of?
I still have no idea.
I don't know either.
no idea? Well, it says on here, this is actually an AM, FM Walkman. So this is like one of the first headphones, but you could listen to music with, but it's actually a radio. So you had to
Oh,
listen to
wow.
radio stations on it. You couldn't pick your
That's-
music.
Yeah. Old.
It's pretty old.
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Kind of tiny too, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What do you think of these headphones?
They look.
Flimsy.
They look. Yeah.
A little flimsier?
Yeah.
All right, got one more. This is kind of similar to that one, but maybe a little different.
Maybe, do you put a CD in there? No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But what's that thing in the middle? I don't know. I'm bad, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know. You were right. You actually put
Really?
you put a CD in here, so this
Oh.
actually opens up,
Oh, cool.
Oh.
and you put a CD in here, and you hit play, you change the volume. So instead of a radio, you add CDs. So people don't really have CDs that much anymore, do they?
No.
Unless, except for like DVDs
Movies.
and movies.
Movies
Yeah.
and stuff. Yep. So that's a little bit older thing, and things have sure changed since then. So I'm going to show you one more thing.
Oh, is it film? Maybe. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's what I think.
So we said film. Any other guesses?
No.
It says flexible disc. I don't know what that means.
Flexible disc. This is actually, you're right, it is a flexible disc, but this is like kind of like a floppy disk. So you actually used to put this in your old computer.
Oh.
Now this is huge. Computers are like this tiny now.
Yeah.
But this is actually how you would store things and save things, and you would save it on a floppy disk.
Oh.
So
That's cool.
kind of old, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now floppy disks look a little different, but you know what this is?
The USB port thing. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, this is a USB port. You're right. So that's kind of what the floppy disk used to do,
Yeah.
but this is a lot smaller and can hold a lot more
Yeah.
space now with this little thing.
Yeah.
So crazy different. And the last thing I wanted to show you, which Christian Mulder really liked, but this is really old. Any idea what that is
Is
for?
that a
No.
computer program?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Any guesses?
No.
No.
I don't think it's something I hang on my wall. It's just a lot of numbers.
Not
Yeah.
something you'd want to hang on your wall.
No.
Not a really pretty picture.
Wouldn't frame it.
No. Well, this is actually, you were right about coding for computers. So a long time ago, when they had computers, somebody actually had to punch commands in onto a paper. And they would put that paper in, and that would tell the computer what to do.
That's crazy.
So a really old thing. And now computers, you just type something and
Yeah.
boom, you have it popped up.
Yeah.
But just kind of cool how old that technology used to be. So. All right, so another old device we have is this thing. And I'll pass this around if you guys want to hold it and maybe try to figure out how you think it should be used or what you think you should do with it.
Wow.
Big.
Yeah.
Do you put it on your shoulder or something?
I think that looks pretty good to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Hand it to Neil real quick.
This is weird.
Oh, wait, would you put your other hand down on the bottom thing?
Yeah.
Like right there? There's like a strap. That's weird.
Yeah, this is
You don't have 3 hands.
Okay.
So any idea what you think this is?
The camera?
A camera?
It kind of looks like a camera in a way.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd use it for like movies or what. Like, I don't think I'd want to carry that around to like family reunions and take pictures.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can actually put a whole VHS. If you guys know what a VHS
Yeah,
is,
I do. Yeah.
you can actually put those in there, and it would actually record on that.
Oh, wow.
So,
No wonder it's so big.
Yeah, so that is an old Hitachi camera. So we have all of this old technology now on the table. We have our typewriter, our old calculator, our kind of mixer with headphones, our FM Walkman to listen to music, storage devices, our big camera, and all of these old devices now can really be found in this little thing right here, in our phone. So it's crazy to think about how all of this has changed to this. And now even thinking when we get older how this is going to change to even something different too.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool to see how all of our technology has changed. But I want to thank you guys, 6th graders, for coming in and giving your best guesses to what these things are. And I'm really excited for this month as we get to talk about technology and how to use that as Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, welcome, guys. We have some awesome 8th graders who have joined us for a roundtable discussion as we're talking about technology. So I wanted to start with a little icebreaker question for us. So if you guys could say your name, and let's say you have 20 days left to live, and you can only eat 2 foods.
Oh.
Which food would you want to eat? 2 foods.
I know.
Okay, so yeah, say your name and then maybe the answer to that question.
My name is Ella Lenning, and I would eat chicken Alfredo and ice cream.
Good.
My name is Lauren Wimmer. I'd eat potatoes and ice cream.
Not together though, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Like a stuffed
My name's
potato.
Tyler Conis, and I'd eat steak and a baked potato.
That sounds good too. Well, good. Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about technology today. So I have a couple questions just wanted to ask you guys about. So when you're bored at home, and if you don't know what to do, it's really easy to, like pick up the TV remote, or if you have a phone, grab that, or a tablet, or do any of you guys play video games?
Me.
Xbox or Switch or anything?
I mean, I have Xboxes, but I use it for TV more than video games.
Okay. So yeah, it's really easy to do those things when you're bored. And why do you think we do that when we're bored?
Because we don't know what else to do, and that's just an easy, like, okay, I just like go here and then like a couple clicks, and then I have whatever show you want.
I also think it's just kind of what we grew up with. Like, we grew
Yeah.
up with watching the TV, whereas, like, some people who are older than us, like, they didn't grow up with that. So we're just bound to do that out of habit.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you think ever of doing something instead of doing that? Or like grabbing a remote control or anything?
Depends on the weather outside.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes I just, like, draw. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's warm out, I'll just flip.
Yeah. So do you think it's hard? You just do flip like backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
You just do
yeah,
that
like-
outside for fun.
Yeah, just like any flip I can think of. Or like just make up my own flip.
That's cool.
Wow.
So hanging outside. So do you feel like it's harder in the wintertime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Sometimes?
sure.
You feel like
And it's like just darker
Because
outside.
you don't want to,
and
like,
you
bundle up and just go out there by
Sure.
yourself, especially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you going to do? Like go sledding by yourself? I don't know.
Sure. Well, good. Do you guys feel like it's hard to manage how much technology we use, like day to day? Do you feel like it's hard to?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Sometimes. Like just the weather.
Mhm.
Like if it's snowing outside or like raining, then I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
And usually I'd also longboard too,
Okay.
but I can't do that when it's
Yeah, when it's
snowing.
like snowing and it's you can't really do anything outside. And so then I feel like I just want to stay inside and like watch a show or something.
Sure. Gotcha. So, do you think that there should be any rules on how much technology you use, or do you think it should be unlimited?
I think
For like
there
a
should be
school
rules.
school rules or like
Just for
home
anyone.
rules?
For you, anywhere.
I think
Oh.
there should, because Like, too much
Otherwise-
technology can really ruin your brain and, like, ruin your functioning of doing other things. Whereas if you, like, have a set time on what you do, and then you have other activities, you're, like, developing in a different way besides just on your electronics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
'cause if you-
parents have like the screen time thing on my phone, so they set it for 45 minutes a day.
Okay.
Per
And then-
app or in all?
Like in all
Oh,
like
yeah.
games, but then I
Yeah.
have an hour on social media. And then on my PS4 I have an hour for games.
Gotcha. So you guys think there should be a time limit, or do you
Yeah.
think there should not?
I think
I think there should be.
Because
Otherwise,
better
if
for
you,
you.
if you go on like electronics too much, then it just ruins
You're not
your
learning
life.
anything new.
Sure.
Like, you're not.
Because you
doing
only get like,
things.
you can't like ever go back in time. So like, say when I'm like older, it's like, oh, like my whole childhood was just watching TV. Like that's
Yeah.
boring.
sure.
When my grandparents come to our house, like everybody just sits on their electronics all day. And then there was this one time where I tried doing flips after doing that for like all day, and I just couldn't. I was too tired.
Tired?
Yeah, it really does like drain you. Like if you're just like inside all day and you like sleep in and just like watch TV, then you like you're just tired for the rest of the day.
Mhm. Yeah. So what do you guys think that the average amount of time a day a middle schooler spends on, like, in front of a screen?
I'd say like 6
6
plus
hours?
hours.
Well, let's
Like
say
8.
I'd
so
say,
probably,
yeah.
like an hour in the morning, like
Let's
driving
say
to school, like-
besides school, besides like
Oh, okay.
like if you're on your computer at school or doing something
that
like
doesn't
outside
count?
outside of school.
I'd still say
Well,
like
from
6
like
hours a day.
4 to like 10.
Yeah,
It's
it's like 6 hours.
But they might not be. I don't know. I'd say like 4 or 5.
There's this one
So
kid
4 or
at my
5.
youth group, and he spent 12 hours on his phone one day.
Oh my goodness.
That's a little addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have the facts here. I looked it
no.
up.
Oh, no.
According to Common Sense Media,
Wait.
they shared that in America, the average 8 to 12-year-old
Oh.
spends almost 5 hours a day
Oh.
in front of a screen,
Let's go.
other than homework. And if you're over 13, like a teenager, they say that jumps up to about 7.5 hours a day.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. Like, you don't
So-
think about how much time you're actually
No.
spending when you're
Well,
on it.
even
but,
if like you
that's
just like get a
crazy.
notifications, then you'll just like open your phone and then you'll just like start going on it, and you just like, I don't know. You
Yeah.
just don't even realize.
So when you hear those numbers, like 5 hours and 7 hours, what do you guys think when you
That's
hear
just sad.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's really
Like,
sad.
there's so
because-
much other things you could do with those hours, but we choose to use our phone.
Sure.
Like,
And it's easy to, like, when you're on something, just to, you think you're on it for 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden you look at the clock and it's
Yeah.
an hour later.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but I know I do that
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
too. But, well, good. Well, as we're talking about technology, we've talked about, like, how we use our time and stuff. What are some, like, positive things? Because there's positives and then there's negative things about technology.
For
So
sure,
what are
for
some
sure.
positive things
Um.
about technology?
Well, if you get like lost, there's well 2 things with this. There's Google Maps,
Mhm.
so you don't need like an old-fashioned map where it's like paper, because then you never know. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then you can like call your mom or your dad if you like are out or something, or you could like
Sure.
text them, or if they're like I don't know. So safety from a safety standpoint,
Okay.
it's good.
I think
Yeah.
it's good for like just communication with people.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to. If you didn't have a phone, you just have to write letters.
Well,
like I
that-
just think it's
or,
very
like-
good for communication. Like
Like you
talking
can
with
like
people.
FaceTime friends, or like if you have a question on homework, then
Sure.
you could
Yeah.
like email teacher, or you could just like ask. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's like really good for reaching out to people too,
Mm-hmm.
because like there was this one girl and she was going through like this really hard time, and like she DM'd me and like I got to pray with her for
Oh, cool.
that, and so that's really helped her grow
Yeah.
in her relationship with God also.
That's awesome. So yeah, there's definitely positive things you can do. Like you talked about communicating with people, like FaceTiming with family members. I know with all this COVID stuff, it's nice to
Yeah.
see people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you haven't been able to see. Or you mentioned even, just being able to be positive by praying with somebody over technology, which I think is awesome. So great ideas, great positive things. On the flip side, though, there are some like negative things or cons or drawbacks.
Yep.
And I have a couple pictures for you guys that I want to show you
Okay.
that might describe how technology can maybe be a negative thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys each one of those pictures, and you guys look at it for a little bit. and then I want you to tell me what you think when you see this picture, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sound good? All right.
I'm kind of scared. I was like,
So, I'll let you guys
oh, I
share
thought
that
this was
one.
Among Us at first. Okay.
So,
Wait, do we flip it over?
nope, just look at that. Just look at that page first. So when you see that,
Oh, that's so
That's
sad.
really sad.
so what's going on in that picture?
Okay, so there's a girl standing with a soccer ball, and then all of her friends are like surrounding her, but they're just on their phones.
They're
And
not even paying
so,
attention.
and the girl looks sad. So that's
What
sad.
makes you feel sad?
Because I wonder if that's how people, like, if I'm on my phone, I wonder if that's how people like view me, like, oh, like I want to do this, but you're just like
Yeah.
on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can think of both people. You can think of the person playing soccer, that's nobody, and then the people around them don't even realize
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's going on. So now flip it over. I want you to look at the next picture. This is a little bit more funny,
Hey.
but when you see this picture, it's also concerning too, but also funny. But
Mm-hmm.
want to see what your thoughts are on that picture.
I don't
I
really
mean,
know
I
what's
think
going on.
It's funny, but I also don't think it's like
Okay.
right.
I don't
like
know.
there's one guy who's just on his phone, not even paying attention to the
Oh,
fact that
is-
Jesus literally just
Is
rose
that what
from
it is?
the dead.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh my goodness, like Jesus just like came
And
out of the
then-
grave.
Yeah.
I also feel like taking the pictures, like you could get famous off of that,
Yeah.
or like you could get.
Well, that's good.
It's like
Because
you're trying to
then
get the attention for
Jesus-
yourself,
Oh yeah.
and not a
but
healthy
it could
way.
also it could still give the attention to Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sharing that he came back alive.
Mhm.
Oh, instead of like telling people mouth to mouth, it's just telling people through.
So I think when I look at that picture, I see, positive things. Yeah, you're sharing that Jesus rose from the dead.
Yeah.
But also, Jesus is standing right there, and what's everybody doing?
They're on their
They're on
phone.
their phone.
They're on their phone. Like, if I was them, I'd want to go talk to him.
Yeah.
I'd want to go
Yeah,
like,
like
give him a
he
hug,
rose
like,
from the
whoa,
dead."
you're
People-
real.
Yeah, and then people would just be like videoing and they'd be more concerned about like what their phone gets instead of like
Yeah.
the fact that they're right there in front
Like,
of Jesus.
Yeah.
Wanting to share it with other people
Yeah.
instead of just being there. So, all right, I got one more picture for you guys. I want you to look at this one. And, Tyler, what's going on in this picture?
There are people at the beach, and they were on their phones, like texting like this, and there's like a suntan all around except for that spot where their phone was.
Yeah, and then like everyone around them is
Yeah.
on their phones too.
And they're gonna get the same tan.
Like they're outside. Why not enjoy like the beach?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know if I was on the beach, I would not want to be on my phone. I would
Yeah, me
want to be
neither.
in the water.
I agree. All right, we got one more picture. I want to flip that one over, and this is the last one. So it's a little more abstract, but I want you guys to maybe look at that and think, what's
It's like,
what's the person trying to portray in that picture?
it's like
How
You can be lonely on your phone.
well, how much people are addicted to their phones?
it's just like they're lost inside of their phone,
Yeah.
trapped
Yeah.
inside of it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, kind of looks like everybody's on their own island
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit, or they're just kind of by themselves in their phone. And yeah, you might be connected or be able to see people, but sometimes it's easy just to still
Be attached.
feel
Yeah.
alone or feel like
Yeah.
you don't have anybody. So
This kind of reminds me of like game day in elementary, and people would
Yeah.
like bring their phones, and like
Yeah.
the teacher would always be saying, "Play
No,
games
that's not
with
what
others."
games are.
Yeah.
uh-huh. So wanting to play with others too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Well, yeah, that's just what I wanted to kind of share with you guys all. I want to thank you guys, 8th graders, for joining us on this conversation. And we talked about positives about technology and negatives about technology. And this whole month, we're going to kind of be talking about, how we as Christians can use technology and different challenges we can do this month. So thanks for joining.
Yeah.
So earlier, I sent out a survey to middle school students asking you all some questions about technology, specifically what technology you used, and asked you guys how much time you spent on it. Thank you for filling that out for me, as it was great for me to learn more about what middle school students are doing here at Sioux Falls Christian. So as you've heard already, our theme for Step Up for the month of November is Unplugged. And I wanted to wrap up our video by sharing 3 important reminders for us all to remind ourselves this month. The first one is be careful with your time. Time should be one of your most valuable possessions because you only have a limited amount of it. It's estimated that people live an average of 72 years or 26,000 days in their lifetime. If you're in middle school, maybe around 13 years old, it means that you've already spent 5,000 of those days already. and we're not getting any of those days back. So each of us has a certain amount of days in our life, and that's it. Once you've spent them, we won't get them back. So Ephesians 5:15 through 16 says, "Be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these days." That Bible verse encourages us to be careful with how we live. Being careful with our time means being aware of how we spend it and trying to spend it in ways that really matter. Now you might say, "Cool, Mr. Cruz, that's awesome. Well, it's my time and I'm going to spend it how I want to." In 1 Corinthians 10:23, it says, "Someone may say, 'I'm allowed to do anything,' but not everything is helpful. I'm allowed to do anything, but not everything encourages growth." You might be allowed to do something, but that thing still might not be helpful or encourage you to grow in your walk with Christ. When we look at the Bible, there aren't any verses forbidding you to use YouTube, technology, video games, or Instagram. It doesn't say that it's a sin to watch 5 hours of cute, funny puppy videos on YouTube. However, watching YouTube that long might not be the best use of your time that God has given you here on this earth. It isn't necessarily wrong, it just might not be necessary or helpful to you. Each one of us should try and be careful with our days and how we spend our time, since we only have so much time. Point number 2 is don't fall into the comparison trap. Technology is always changing, and there are constantly newer devices, as we saw earlier. Nowadays, it's super easy to connect with other people and see what we're doing, and while that's exciting and awesome, it can also be challenging because it's easy to get caught up in the comparison game. I know I have occasionally thought, "Wow, I wish I had their life," or "Wow, I wish I had that phone or the newest AirPods," or whatever the newest thing is. When in reality, those people might actually be jealous of the life that I have in ways that I don't even know. So with Jesus' help, we can win the battle of constantly comparing ourselves to others. In Romans 12:6, the Message version, it says, "Let's just go ahead and be what we are made to be, without enviously or pridefully comparing ourselves with each other or trying to be something we aren't." This is so similar to what we talked about in last month's Step Up Chapel, the You Are Unique Step Up Chapel. Stop trying to be like someone else or wishing you had someone else's life. Be you, because nobody does it better. And our final point, point 3, is spend time with Jesus. That point is pretty simple, but can be hard for a lot of people to do. Someone shared with me a quote that said, "The devil doesn't have to destroy you, he just has to distract you." When we are distracted, it can be really difficult to hear God when He speaks to us. When's the last time you chose to intentionally talk with Jesus? Just you and Him. No TV, no phone, no video games, no Chromebook, no friends, other people, or other distractions. You chose to unplug from all the distractions and just take 10 minutes of your day to pray and talk with Jesus. I read another quote the other day that said, "The only thing that can satisfy the human heart is the one who created it." I want to encourage you to take some time and spend time with Jesus this week and get away from all the distractions. So to sum up again, our Unplugged Step Chapel, the 3 points. 1, be careful with your time. 2, don't fall into the comparison trap. And 3, spend time with Jesus. And since our theme is unplugged, I'm going to give each of you a sheet of paper this week that says, "I unplug 2." So I want you guys to take some time and intentionally think, when you have the urge to play video games, turn on the TV when you're bored, what are some other ways you can spend your time that God's given you? You can unplug to read your Bible. You can unplug to call a friend. You can unplug to go outside, hang out with your siblings. Just come up with some different ideas and write those down, and look at those as a reminder this week as you think, how can I unplug?